From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, December the 16th, 2024. A missile was launched today at Israel from Yemen, sending Israelis across Tel Aviv and other parts of central Israel running for shelter. The IDF said the missile was intercepted, shot down before it crossed into Israeli territory, saying that rocket alerts were activated due to fear of interception fragments falling. The Magen David Adom paramedics were cited as saying that they treated 5 people who were lightly injured while running for cover. Well, a 12-year-old boy was murdered this past Thursday night in a terror attack in Judea and Samaria, the West Bank, which we neglected to report on Friday's news. Yehoshua Aharon Tuvia Simcha was critically hurt when a terrorist opened fire on the Israeli civilian bus he was traveling on. The bus was heading to Jerusalem. Doctors were forced to declare his death early Friday morning. 3 others were injured in the attack. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying our hearts ache with his family in these unimaginable moments of grief. The terrorist who carried out the shooting reportedly turned himself in, and the IDF said Israeli troops have since mapped his home for demolition, a deterrent measure used by the IDF. Turning now to Israel's northern border with Syria, where the IDF is maintaining its position in the buffer zone, or what is called the area of separation between the countries, a UN-monitored demilitarized zone. Here is spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Nadav Shoshani with more on the current status.
Given the recent developments in Syria, the IDF has reinforced and strengthened its positions along the area of separation, as well as assisting UNDOF forces in repelling armed attacks when asked for. The IDF continues to monitor the situation in Syria and will not hesitate to respond to any attack from inside Syria, whether it is from Syrian forces, Hezbollah terror operatives, or Iranian militias.
Prime Minister Netanyahu yesterday weighed in on the current situation in Israel, including with Syria, reiterating we have no interest in a conflict with Syria. We will determine Israeli policy regarding Syria according to the reality on the ground. The Prime Minister said, I have directed the IDF to thwart the potential threats from Syria and prevent terrorist elements from taking control close to our border. Over the course of several days, we have destroyed the capabilities that the Assad regime took decades to build. We have also struck the weapon supply routes through Syria to Hezbollah. The Prime Minister saying he discussed the situation as well as other threats Israel faces last night with President-elect Donald Trump. Netanyahu said we discussed the need to complete Israel's victory, and we spoke at length about the efforts we are making to free our hostages. We will continue to act relentlessly to return home all of our hostages, the living and the deceased. The 100 hostages who remain held by terror group Hamas in Gaza have now been captive for 437 days. The IDF continues to eliminate terrorists in Gaza, including yesterday, where Air Force fighter jets hit, the IDF said, a concentration of terrorists from the Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad terrorist organizations who were operating in a command and control complex disguised as the offices of the Civil Defense Organization in Nuseirat. Also hitting a terrorist cell in the Beit Hanun area, and the IDF said a terrorist cell that planned to carry out a terror plot against our forces. A rocket was launched overnight Saturday from Gaza at southern Israel. It landed in an open area. No damage or injury was reported. The IDF said the rocket was fired from approximately 160 feet away from an active international aid warehouse in Gaza, saying terrorists in Gaza continue providing examples for their disregard to the needs of the people of Gaza. We will continue facilitating humanitarian aid because our war is not with the people of Gaza. The IDF is also maintaining its position in southern Lebanon, sharing video of activity there, where it said terrorists were eliminated and many terrorist infrastructures destroyed. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, December the 16th. At 7 o'clock, FIDF CEO Steven Weil is joined by Major General in Reserve Nadav Padan to discuss the latest developments in Israel's ongoing multi-front conflict. At 8, Abigail Pogrebin sits with politician, lawyer, and senior fellow for Middle Eastern Studies at the Council on Foreign Relations, Elliott Abrams, to talk about his strategies for strengthening Jewish identity through education, immersive experiences, and community engagement. At 8:30, I speak with Matthew Lieberman, son of the late Senator Joe Lieberman, to talk about his father's final book, Faith's Answers to America's Political Crisis. At 9, it's Herbert Block on L'chaim. At 10, it's Good Week Israel, which is also coming up next. At 10:30, an encore of the news. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, December the 16th, 2024. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.